At the beginning of this year's unconventional look at gaming's world of tomorrow, Microsoft bravely stepped up onto the stage first, only to immediately fall right off it. Nearly 3 months later, they're back and ready to give this a second try with their Xbox Games Showcase. Hopefully this time they remember to bring the gameplay footage that they promised to show off before. And it seems they're determined to put their best foot forward, as they waste no time in giving us an extended look at Halo Infinite. After a cutscene where Master Chief and his new sidekick, I guess, crash onto a new Halo ring, we immediately jump straight into gameplay. At first glance it looks no different to how other Halo games play, but it quickly reveals what new gimmicks it brings to the table. Most notably, it looks like it shifted from a linear-based level progression to 4 open-world environments, complete with a tactical map and various objectives to track, something that hasn't been seen since Halo 3 ODST. There are also suggestions that the world map will open up as you slowly progress, and that you'll gain experience points allowing you to upgrade your armor and gain new abilities. There are a few other nice little touches too, such as being able to shoot up enemy armor, which may result in creating weak spots, new drifting mechanics of Warthogs, which is weird to see on a vehicle that is normally so light and bouncy, and a new grappling hook that allows you to latch onto enemies, objects, and environments, and my wallet. Not a lot can be said in the story other than it being clear that Chief and his new companion must survive in a hostile world whilst battling Covenant forces, presumably led by this handsome chap. Having been a long-term fan of the series, is all of this enough to convince me to buy this game? It's a Halo game with a grappling hook. You do the math. I don't even think there's anything else worth talking about in this show. Oh wait, is that Jack Black at Double Fine Studios? I stand corrected. Accompanied by a song performed by Jack Black, which I won't play here out of fear of copyright, we get a new trailer for Psychonauts 2 that shows off some more of the gameplay, including combat and time manipulation. We also get a look at one of the new worlds, and the imagery is incredibly trippy and psychedelic as hell. Everywhere you look, something bizarre and wild catches your eye. Did Tim Schafer create all this by dropping acid while watching Yellow Submarine? Making a return from the last showcase is The Medium. While there wasn't much more to learn in terms of the story, we were shown what was referred to as dual reality gameplay that showed how differently events can appear between the normal and the spirit realm. In contrast to Psychonauts, the imagery is suitably disturbing, and you can't help but wonder how the two realms will be integrated into the gameplay. A good chunk of the games on show were used to help present the capabilities of the Xbox Series X. We've already seen what Halo Infinite is capable of, but games like Forza Motorsport are able to show off high quality realism through the use of ray tracing and native 4K resolution running at 60 frames per second, which is, I think, good? I mean, it looks pretty, but then again these racing games usually are. There is also a version of Ori and the Will of the Wisps being created specifically to make use of the Series X hardware, and side-by-side comparisons were shown in order to highlight the fluidity of the game as it runs at 120 frames per second. There wasn't too much else to be said about the rest of the games in the show. There was news that the sequel to Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice will be set in Iceland, and that you can watch behind-the-scenes videos on Ninja Theory's YouTube channel. The Outer Worlds is getting some DLC by the name of Peril on Gorgon, and the creators of Grounded really want you to know that if you want to play the biggest game of the year, you should wait for Cyberpunk to come out. Very cheeky game you're playing there, Obsidian. There were also hype trailers for Avowed, State of Decay 3, and what looks to be a reboot of the FABLE series. Okay, so Halo Infinite took up the lion's share of the showcase, but there were still a few more things worth checking out. As a reminder, this showcase is about featuring a multitude of games being created by the developers that are under the Xbox Game Studios banner, many of which are shown running on the Series X engine, and all games featured will be available on Game Pass. However, this has presented a massive flaw in their advertising strategy. That flaw being that they haven't exactly sold you on the idea that you need to buy an Xbox Series X. As far as I can tell, there aren't any games exclusive to the new console, and as mentioned, all games will be available on Game Pass, so you'll still be able to play them on Xbox One or PC. Considering that both Microsoft and Sony are preparing for their new consoles to launch this holiday season, you'd think that both companies will want to make sure that their new hardware is the one on which you want to part your money with. But while the PS5 is being built up as a true successor to the PS4 with its own library of top quality games, the Series X is looking more like a simple upgrade to the Xbox One. By that logic, it would seem that Sony would come out on top in this battle of the consoles. But is that the fight Microsoft are trying to win? Aside from showing off how super awesome games look when running on the Series X, Microsoft were also heavily promoting two services that I believe are integral to their Xbox brand. Game Pass, a subscription service that allows you to download from a selection of high quality games, and Smart Delivery, which not only gives you access to the best version of whatever game you buy, no matter the hardware you're using, but will also allow your save data to be shared across both consoles. It's something that Xbox has been advertising even back in May during the Inside Xbox video. We were just too focused on the lack of gameplay in a gameplay showcase to see what was really going on. Though I'm sure they would be happy if the Series X did sell really well. It seems that their true intention is to build on their community by ensuring that we have access to a wide variety of high quality games as well as the best version of those games no matter what system we're playing them on.